Hey Jermaine, I just wanted to let you know, last night was everything. You did what you came to do. You brought your testosterone energy, and as a feminine woman, I can appreciate that. I mean, you commanded the room. The food was on point. The seats was on point. VIP. I really, really, really appreciate that. I'm going to support you all the way. I mean, everything, you prepared for that. I can tell you prepared for that. And this is what we need, not only in Clarksville, but period. I see you going from point A to all the way to the top. And I'm here for it. And I know I'm just a little supporter, but trust me, I appreciate you, my brother. Keep doing what you're doing.
This shit like I ran, don't leave the house without the gun. You got status, where you from? Is you tatted, where you from? I don't trust no man but munchy breathing up under the sun. Youngin' never leave a slum, but he hot, he on the run. Got a nigga from South Memphis, just went on the walkie run. They like 70 in the van, low-key look like a soccer mom. Nigga ain't no friend, it's just me and twin. Right around in that wind. You don't like me, I wouldn't like me neither. Get on before I spin.
I had something to you, nigga. I was on my way to prison at 19, nigga.
Mm-hmm.
Out here doing dumb shit. Could have been doing some shit like this.
Well, real shit.
Man.
And here we are on another episode of the Jermaine Hall Show, Let's Talk Heavy Session. And I got my people with me once again, the greatest of all time, Miss Letisha Coffee, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, y'all.
How you doing, Miss Lady?
Doing good.
It's
How are
good
you?
to see you again. It's been quite a while.
Yeah.
You know what's coming up?
It's been a
1 year anniversary. And I'm dropping that pod from that night on March 10th. Everybody was asking,
Awesome.
when are you going to put out the footage? When you going to put out the footage? I was waiting for the 1 year mark.
Okay.
For those that missed it, the live show, the next one is going to be grander, but I will forever hold that one near and dear. And I got to share space with one of the greatest, like I said, of all time when it comes to women around in my life, however you want to put it. She's top tier. So I'd like to thank you again for showing up today. Today we're going to talk a little bit about sex drives in middle-aged people and how they affect relationships and how, you know, just the ins and out of things. You know, I like solution-based. We start with what's wrong and then we get right on to some tools that people can use and put in a bag and move forward. Are you with that?
Yeah.
You with that? You think you got something you can throw in there?
Yeah.
Okay. So, first thing I want to ask her, what are some of the common factors that may affect sex drives that you know of?
Well, one that I discovered, and it's kind of case by case, they say that men have their sex peak or their sex drive late teens. Mm-hmm. For women, it's 30s, early 40s. So that's a factor right there.
I don't know why God did that, but I guess he did it. Because if you think about it, if we all had our peak at the same time, how many kids would be on this earth?
Right.
I think it'll be too many people on this earth if everybody at the same time.
But it can also create a problem, especially in long-term relationships. Once you hit that middle age, especially if you have a middle-aged man and a middle-aged woman, you might see that imbalance where he did all of his screwing late teens and then she's ready to screw all the time now at the age that she's at.
Here's what I know. I ain't never been through that. I've been through depression for 7 years. And I did the opposite of what a lot of people said because one of the factors we talked about, I asked you about some of the common factors that may be involved. And I have a few that I looked up. Some of it I learned, some of it I knew, I just didn't connect it to sex drives, right? But I did the opposite. I was fucking for sport while depressed. There's a song Solange got, she tried to fuck it away. She tried to buy things and shop it away. And you know what I'm saying? And I could relate to that because I found that was the worst decision I could have made.
For sure.
I always say now I don't make decisions on my worst days, so to speak. If I'm angry, I'm not making a big decision.
Right.
If I'm too happy, I still want to chill before I, you know what I'm saying? It shows balance. It shows some kind of discipline, right?
Right.
With this sex drive thing, I ain't never met a girl. I've always been on the upper end of it, if that makes sense. I've never been, I need more. Been told I need more. I've been told, get off me.
Okay.
Wait a minute. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
My body ain't like that. My body is for longevity. It ain't built for, we got 10 minutes, let's go. 10 minutes? You gonna be late. You gonna be late. So I can't relate to the guys that go through that or have been through it, but I've heard about it. Now, the part I didn't like is the women don't take it to, I think it's lack of knowledge, not just making fun of the man. Because how many times have we heard, he don't last, or I ain't satisfied, or
Right.
I quit messing with him because of this, and they never even had the conversation.
Yeah.
Can you at least tell me I'm lacking?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's another thing. I think lack of communication. For one, I think everything starts with a conversation. And some people, they like maybe nervous about having it, or they don't know how the person will take it. But it's a conversation that is absolutely necessary, especially in like a relationship. But even relationships that's just based on just sex, you still have to make sure that if you want to keep that person around, that you communicate the boundaries, that you communicate compromise, that you communicate what satisfies you, what makes you happy, what drives you crazy, all that stuff. Those are conversations that cannot be avoided. Cannot. Ladies, you got to talk to them, because how can you expect for them to know how you feel if you don't talk about it? And for those that say that they're nervous about having the conversation or don't want to have it, I call Cap, because
Cap?
Yes,
Welcome.
I call Cap because you're one of the first ones to say, well, he didn't last like you said, or he didn't do this. And if you're not nervous to humiliate somebody, then you can't be nervous to sit down and have an adult conversation about it.
That's dope. I want to ask you this before. I was going to crack a joke, but this is a very important message that needs to go out. How soon, if somebody doesn't know how soon to have this tough conversation, because it is tough, not everybody knows how to convey a message. If you were to throw out a roundabout number, let's say somebody's been dating 3 months, right? They've been physical twice. Do you think that's enough time right there of kicking it for the woman or the man to say, hey, we need to have this
Right there.
conversation?
Right there.
Right there.
That's enough time. I feel like it's enough time. As an adult, especially if you've already gone there, that means that you're going to visit that place again. So if you know you're going to visit that place again, you know that you've already gone to that physical element in your relationship, then now is the time to have it. The how is just as important as having it, but definitely as soon as you feel like your relationship is going to go to that physical. And sometimes, hey, you get together, the chemistry is crazy. It's based off euphoria, how you feel and all that stuff. So sometimes the conversation doesn't happen prior to. But once you know that you're going to be physical with that person, you need to have it.
I always say a great encounter physically can be great, but only for a while, because the honeymoon phase dies down after a while. And then it becomes routine if you're doing it all the time, right? That's where good communication come in at, because now you're talking about, I need a connection now in order to continue this. So if we're talking about a connection and then you find out, oh, that just wasn't the first 4 times, he really can't last. One could blame it on, girl, you got that good. Or he going down in the middle of it and then having to get back up, and y'all ain't talked enough. Y'all ain't spent enough time, because he could be stressed out, which is one of the factors. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no telling what he got going on in his life. There's another thing that they talked about, estrogen and testosterone levels. those things right there didn't blow my mind, but what did blow my mind is I didn't know having diabetes can cause you to have ED.
I didn't know that either. So.
Did not know that.
News.
Then I met a friend. Well, not met a friend. I've been knowing her 25 years now, right? She never told me her husband got diabetes. And she did tell me about the problems that they have in the marriage, which will remain nameless. But one of them was ED. And I said, Cap? Because he only 1 year older than me. And I seen him. He in shape. He looks good. So I'm like, he got diabetes? That dude? I'm talking about in the gym. Look good. Stature nice.
Yeah.
She said, no. Diabetes tearing him up because he can't stay away from them sweets. He just look good, but he ain't good on the inside, and it don't work. I said, he, like, at all, ever? She said, ever. No matter what I do, it ain't gonna get up. I could not imagine going through that at this age. Go ahead. That's the only time you can send me to prison. It don't work no way.
Listen, I met someone who will remain nameless. She was a little older than me by a couple years. And the floor was open between she and I where she felt comfortable talking to me about it. And her husband had PTSD and it affected them. And I asked her, like, I hope you don't mind me asking, but, you know, like, how long? 5 years.
No sex?
5 years. No sex. Like, he doesn't even reach for it. And then, which brought me to my next point, because they're married.
I want to ask you something after you finish.
It brought me to my next point because I'm like, she talks about how good of a husband he is, how well he communicates, how much of a provider that he is.
Why are you whispering in here?
I mean, that's just my voice, sorry.
Stop whispering in here. Talk to me.
She talked about how much of a provider he is, like all this stuff. And no intercourse with him. 5 years.
Does he allow her to go get it?
That brings me to my next point.
Did you ask her?
He does allow her to go and get it.
I like that man. I love that man.
He does allow her to go. Now, she told me that he set stipulations.
Absolutely. There has to be boundaries.
Yeah. But he does let her go and get off because he just can't perform.
Right. I would do the same thing. Except I think I would take it to the extreme. If she's my person and I love her just that much, I always said if I got injured in overseas to the point to where I become not able to perform in that manner anymore, if I can't have sex, I'm not staying married if I'm married. I got to let you go. I love you, but I got to let you go because you didn't get hurt. And yeah, we can still be friends, but I don't want to be connected to you and confusing your new relationships. You know what I'm saying? You really got to let me go. I wouldn't do that to somebody. My partner, I think he waited like 1.5 years. He lost his legs over there. And he just got depressed over something new, you know. And he left his wife over that. It wasn't nothing to do with his penis. So I understand how the pressure can be there when you just feel inadequate and it can literally brush off on your partner.
Well, I guess he did express that he was inadequate, apologetic and all of that. But I guess he refuses to lose the connection that they have. So they decided to stay married. He loves taking care of her because he was at a battle with, I can't really function without the medicine, but the medicine does this to me. So, and he lets her venture out. But my question to her was, what if you venture out
and love it there and have feelings? You know, women and men are emotional. Yeah.
Women just happen to express it. They express it differently. I'm not going to say express it more or less. They express it differently. Because even a man being withdrawn, you're still expressing that you feel some type of way, right? So what if you get out there and you fall in love with this person that is only meant to function as one thing? So that's why I say sex is very powerful. It's one of those things that can't stand alone, but it can stand alone, right? Like a lot of people are together because of sex. They won't let a person go because the sex is so good, because they're satisfied in that area.
And they scared they ain't gonna find that chemistry nowhere else.
Right. So it's one of those things that can stand alone, but can't stand alone. Like you need other things, but it's very powerful. It's a very powerful foundational tool. And it's a conversation that me and my husband had. I say to all the ladies, if you are with someone and you're afraid or you're nervous to the point where you don't have that conversation, then you have another issue. You might feel like you might be hesitant or to have it, but that safe space, you should be able to have it. You should be able to express it.
So did you know emotional distance is also a reason that a man can suffer from ED?
I did not know that, but I could probably.
You mentioned withdrawal.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking up all the different aspects of why the sex drive can be low.
Mm-hmm.
But a person that tends to withdraw from life, from the world, isolation, literally has no sex drive most times. And I have heard women say, I ain't had sex in 2 years, it don't bother me. But I also listen to them talk about how they don't have no friends, don't go nowhere, don't deal with nobody on no level, ain't got no push, no vision, no chance of living better than they living, just nothing driving them, right? Also no sex drive. And I said, wow, I didn't think about that, because when I went through my depression, I was the opposite. I was trying to fill every void with other people.
Yeah.
Right? And I keep meeting people that don't try to fill the void with other people. They fill the void within. They go within and implode, basically. I never did that. I always was out, not inner. And then once I started doing the inner shadow work, now I don't want to be around people because I feel like they're going to mess it up. I done did so much work. I don't want you to mess this up.
Well, depression, it can make you kind of numb. And an example of that is if you feel like one of your limbs numb, what do you do to get the feeling back? You hit it because you want to feel something. I think depression numbs people. I've experienced that with some family members where they're just numb to everything. But they want that feeling back. So they do other things, not always healthy things, to just feel something, feel a part of something. So,
obesity and medications. Those are things that kill the sex drive. I've witnessed with my own eyes women saying, I got to get me a big boy. The big boy, I remember, the sex was great. I purposely asked, how old were you when that happened? 19, 20? How old are you now? 39? Big boy might not be going like he was at 19.
Right.
Very well might not be.
Health is a big part
40-year-old. You see what I'm saying? Or just the medication he's taking to make sure he regulates what might be wrong.
Right.
Could keep you from performing like you were performing. Now, have you ever heard, because I had never heard of this, andropause?
No.
But you've heard of menopause. Andropause is for men. That
I have not heard
blew my mind.
Yeah.
I'm looking at menopause. I knew what that meant. I'm like, oh, did you know men go through andropause?
I did not know that.
The same effects y'all have, we get.
Okay.
I did not know that.
No.
And I'm telling you that because I wanted to see if I was the only person in the world.
I did not know that.
So it's us both. What we hear now. Andropause is literally menopause for men. And where y'all, they say the effects of menopause is hot flashes, y'all get drier than normal, y'all lose your cycle, things of that. Guess what we get? Full throttle, hot flashes, and no erection.
Okay.
Makes me think about the women that want a sugar daddy with the money. Now I know why they kick it with him. No sugar has to be given.
Right.
He just want to spend some time. He want companionship.
Some of them sugar daddies is done with it, though. They done with andropause.
I will say, not all, but I'm saying I know some that said they never had to do anything but lay up and watch movies and get paid, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, why them dudes they ain't got no wife, kids grown and gone. Why don't I ain't know about andropause? I said maybe they were going through. We ain't got a hunch. Let's watch this movie for real.
Just want companionship, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep.
So, poor diet, we know, can bring a sex drive down. Now, my guilty pleasure, a nice steak or some beer-battered chicken strips with some honey mustard, right? But I can't eat that. I ain't had it in so long. I
got to have me a steak every now and then. I'm so sorry.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My discipline, I don't want to be this age experiencing heart disease, cancer, any of these things. I done put down all of my habits except one. I'm still fighting it, but I'm almost finished, right? My vices I ain't never had such a clear mind. I can say that.
That's good.
We doing this pod. I'm supposed to be drunk.
You good.
Sober as a gopher, you hear me?
That's good.
But it feels good. It feels good. These things that I've experienced, I will tell you the only thing that gave me a low sex drive or ED ever was heartbreak. That's the only thing I remember giving me ED, right? So when dudes just talking about, man, I had to pop a perk, 23 years old. To get up? What? You 23. I couldn't put that motherfucker down at 23.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't get that. Now I got a question for you.
All right.
The andropause, should you, because some people have early onset. I didn't know that. I read that. Let's say you both 45, mid 40s, right? And he go through that. Are you supplementing, or are you just gonna wait it out? Cause I know what I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do.
I think I would first have to be versed on it, but I mean, you know.
I'm talking about he just don't want it. He like, real deal, I don't want it.
I just gotta go through it. If I signed up for
that's what I said, you gonna go through it with him.
Yeah, I just gotta go through it with them.
So you gonna be on the porch rocking, reading the paper with him.
Yeah.
Ain't done nothing in 2 years.
No, 2 years, I'm not doing that.
That's what I'm asking you.
2 years, I ain't doing that. Let me look at the camera and say that. 2 years, I ain't doing that.
Let me tell you something. I ain't doing it for 2 months.
Yeah.
I
ain't
love
doing
you, baby.
it. Yeah.
And I don't know what...
We have to figure it out.
I don't know what menopause gonna do to whoever. I'm gonna be working so hard at this. Hopefully, I miss the whole time you going through menopause, and we just on the phone and FaceTime and loving each other, right? But if I'm in that house and 2 days, 3 days go by,
what's up?
and I ain't even seen you in your boy shorts or nothing.
Yeah, what's up?
You cheating? Cause I need it.
Yeah, what's up?
And by it, I mean you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got to have it. I got to have it. Especially if we in this relationship.
For sure.
Interdependency, not independent.
Yeah.
That means you need me, I need you.
Yeah.
Baby, don't.
Well, you know how you said at the beginning of the podcast, like you like solutions. Like I think we would figure something out. But
we already figured it out. We said we ain't doing that.
Yeah. Being without my husband, like having that element, being without him for a significant amount of time, I'm not willing to do that. So we have to work something out.
Right.
We have to figure something out scientifically, read some books, something.
I'm going to get off subject for a second.
Okay.
I recently spoke on a different panel on a different podcast with about 6 or 7 other young ladies and men and gentlemen, right? And one of the young ladies was saying when she gets married this next time, she want him to live next door. Have her palace, he have his, but we still come outside to each other every day, go to bed, on the phone, whatever. How would you feel about that? Do you think that will work in a marriage?
Not for mine.
For you?
No. Not for me.
No. I said it sounded ridiculous until I thought about my me time
Yeah.
and things that I like to do. The only reason it's ridiculous is financially.
Yeah.
Financially, I'm losing.
Yeah.
Because I can only not pay taxes as a veteran on one of these houses.
Right.
I got to pay taxes on that house
Yeah.
next door. Right? And whatever else going on in our lives, I got to pay for something over there at some point. Second thing is, I need us in this, or I'm going to lose this passion for you. You're going to teach me how to be without you being next door. Don't teach me that, because I learn fast.
Right.
I tell them all the time, don't teach me no bad habit about you, because I learn real fast. When she said that, she was so passionate about it, and I get it, because she said she went through so much in her first marriage. She knows exactly how not to do it now, but she said what will work is if he ain't in my face all day. If I ain't got to see him, I'm gonna miss him, and then when I do see him, he getting all of me, and I'm like, but he next door.
Yeah. So I guess something like that is a case by case to me, because she said based off of her first marriage. Well, based off of mine, I'm here for the all in your face all the time, every day, because I didn't have that. So if she experienced the opposite of what I experienced, then I mean, I'm not judging her. It wouldn't.
I didn't either. I just thought it was shocking.
It wouldn't work for me. I have heard that though. I have heard people being willing to live separate. No, I don't. I don't think so.
Only way I do it is if my job, let's say, when this podcast or my talk show blow up and it's global, and I got to go do 3 months overseas. Well, that just reminds me of the military when I had to go for 15 months. I'm going to go do that 3 months. You can come visit whenever you want in the 3 months, but it's not a sentence. It's not final. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming home. But you telling me I got to live down the street or next door, that's a final decision. I think we're done here.
We're done.
Yeah, fine. And I got news for you. Don't tell your mama I was a bad man. You chose this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Here. I'm in full support of me time. I live by it. My husband understands that. That's just how I am. I need time to decompress. So going for a drive or going shopping by myself or things like that. And my birthday trip, I'm supposed to go on a trip by myself and just decompress and chill. You have to have that understanding, but not waking up and not being able to say good morning to my husband or, nah, I don't want to do that. But what works for them?
Yeah, salute to them. Whoever can do it. Now I'm gonna bring you back around to this sex drive thing. Is there a certain approach that somebody could use to start that conversation? Like, baby, let's watch a movie. Is there a vibe they can create, or should this happen on a date, or what would you say would seemingly look like the easy way to do this for you?
Well, the way I did it is we played a couple game. Right. And I purposely got the game because I knew that it was like a questionnaire type thing, and it was about sex, like it was sex based. So we played the game, we had a good time, and then the ground was tender. And it just depends on your partner and what makes them tick or what will offend them. But you can start by asking them what about you in that moment makes them happy. Like, what body part is the best? Like, how often? It doesn't have to be weird. People
and really
make it weird.
And that sounds like another way of getting to know each other.
Right.
So it's a building game, and also it sounds like you're opening up the floor to be very vulnerable and honest, which I think niggas gonna lie on the first time they play that game.
Yeah. Probably so.
I don't know why we do that. Y'all stop lying, man. You know they know already.
Stop the cap.
They know already, man. Just tell her.
But that's how we did it. It wasn't weird. It actually turned into a conversation where we were both able to express ourselves. I didn't use negative language like I don't like or I never. I talked about the things that I did like and what I would like to experience in the future, stuff like that. It was good. It was cool.
You know how to convey a message.
For sure.
Verbiage is important.
Mm-hmm.
What do you tell a woman that got a man that can't keep up in the bedroom?
That's a tough one.
The reason I asked that question is because I've never been in that position, but I'm pretty sure I've been talked about behind my back, right? And my response was, "That's fine.
Well, yeah,
I mean, we ain't dealing no more. Why she couldn't tell me then?
Right.
You know, and like we said before, if you don't say nothing, they can't do nothing about it. But what would you say to a woman that literally doesn't want to stay? But he can't navigate the bedroom the way she wanted to. Because if I had a BBW, I know I can't pick this girl up unless I go to the gym, gain some pounds, and start lifting weights. I ain't never picking you up. You see what I'm saying? But she want that. That's her fantasy. I'm going to buy a swing. Get up here.
Solution.
Get up here.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Well, for one, my first question is it even worth it? Like,
Why?
Is it worth going to the next step? Like, do you like this person enough to have this conversation? Or
now, I'm glad you said that because isn't it a thing where the man checks all the other boxes? So women tend to let the sex slide.
Can't let it slide.
You say stop doing that.
I say a smaller problem becomes a bigger problem. That and the lack of sex, that's gonna grow. I don't care how you chop it. That's gonna grow. He can buy you roses every day. He can tell you you're beautiful every hour.
Paying for everything.
If he can't convey that enough to fulfill your needs in the bedroom, it's gonna become a problem. You say that it's not, stop the cap.
And go look at my post. I posted, it was over 10,000 women that say how much they cheated on their man, but they didn't want to. They had to. Yeah. He just couldn't get the job done.
It's the breeding ground. And you have to first ask yourself, is it worth it? The situation that you're in, is it worth it? The marriage, the relationship, anything, the booty call. You have to ask, is it worth it? Is it worth me even going to the second step, or can I just settle for this until it's over? I personally am too old to settle for anything until it's over. No, I want to be satisfied. Is that something that's going to happen 100% of the time? Probably not. That's not realistic. But I'm personally at the age where communication is key. You have to convey the message. If it's worth it, have that conversation. If they're not meeting the mark, you have to be willing to teach your partner. Some people say they're too old. No, you are learning to the day you are no longer here. You have to be teachable in every aspect of your life. Take that person, talk to them. Sometimes you don't have to talk to them. You can teach them in the act.
Hello.
What satisfies you, what makes you happy. Do it this way, do it that way. You don't have to say it. You can just actually do it, act it out, or get them to act it out. And if it doesn't change, I will say that it does create a problem. Just going back to what I said before, sex is a very strong thing that can't stand alone, but can stand alone. Like it's a make or break you type thing, for sure.
I think it's more common for a woman not to teach the man than the man not to tell the woman what he like. We come in there with all kind of demands. These days, it's been a shift where women want to conquer and dominate and stand out front, and you know what I'm saying? But I still haven't heard, oh no, I taught him how to do that. I see a lot of, at this age, baby, I ain't got no time to be showing you how to. And I wonder where that attitude comes from.
Yeah, I don't know.
Especially if I thought you liked this guy. You want him around. Why wouldn't you just say, hey, you probably been with girls that accept anything, but this is gentle. That hurts. Don't do me like that. Definitely do me like that. Why wouldn't you say that if that's what you want the experience to be like?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You just stop using your teeth. Get rid of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we quick to say that, girl, teeth, what you doing? You know what I'm saying? I don't understand a woman that would say, I ain't into training no man or teaching no man. That's always baffled me because it's your experience.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you want to get the most out of this time
Sure.
you're spending?
Mm-hmm.
That's the common sense part of it. And I know common sense ain't common.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's more common for a woman to teach a man than it is for a man to teach a woman. Because a man gonna say, yeah, you was fired, but both hands. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And the woman like, oh, that's it? Cool, simple. Okay, cool. You ain't got no rhythm in that, so I ain't gonna put you in that position no more. You know what I'm saying? I've done that. You can't ride me. You don't have no rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't doing that no more. What? Jermaine, but I know. You don't know nothing. I know you ain't got no rhythm. If I start clapping like this, you gonna still get off beat. You know what I'm saying? I've been there with the women doing that. I'm like, you ain't got no rhythm. And it's not enjoyable. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, you say a healthy vibe for you was the board game or the couples game. I say the healthy vibe and environment for me to tell a woman what I'm looking for. That was in that conversation when I started asking you about your package deal. What all come with you? And we worked our way to being physical. And if I'm stressed out, I think she need to know that up front.
Sure.
Fellas, I don't think it's easy to tell a woman you overwhelmed. But you can use words like that. Take that. Write it down. You don't have to use the word stress. Just say, I've been a bit overwhelmed in life. She's going to ask, how? You know what I'm saying? Start listing a few heavy things that's on your back. Now she can take into account for why you might not be performing as far as as much as she would like.
All right.
You, let's say he give it to you once a week, but you want it 6 times a week. He never told you he overwhelmed. At some point, you're going to start sending hints like, yeah, we need to pick this up, right?
For sure.
If he keep denying you, what are you now saying in your mind? To yourself. You starting to feel unattractive.
It's definitely a breeding ground for your partner to feel undesirable. For sure.
So if you are in a relationship and you feel like you're not desirable or you feel unattractive or you're not enough for your partner, now you're down in the dumps when it was really just, I can't get up no more than one time a week because all of this is trapped in my mind. Or this medication fucking me up. Or what they say, I got to stop eating hamburgers and hot dogs every day. You see what I'm saying? All those things. So with that, I want to say you gave us some good points about communication. How soon. We wrapped up making fun of people when you could just teach them.
Yep.
I don't think we should be making fun of them no more. We really should just be talking.
I know y'all still gonna make fun of the people.
And she gonna help.
No, I'm not.
I don't know why y'all do that to us though.
No,
y'all
I'm
kind of
not.
hard on us. I think y'all kind of hard on us.
What you mean?
Because we literally can't help what we was born with, for one. Right? Then y'all give us the chance. Y'all allowed us the space. Give us some. And because good women made us wait a long time to even get it, you expect me to last in here? Give me at least 3 times before you start judging. Am I wrong for asking?
You are not wrong.
I'm asking on behalf of the men
You are not
to
wrong.
all the women. Is
You are
that
not
a
wrong.
hard ask? Like 3 times then, okay, so 3 times pass, 4th time, conversation. After the teaching don't work, fire. Is that a bad timeline? Do that sound bad? Why you laughing? Okay, so like I said, I'm asking all women on behalf of the men today, let us hunch 3 times.
Oh, God.
3 times. 4th time, if it's still as bad as it was the first 3 times, conversation and teaching, a little powwow, detailed now. 5th time, fire.
Oh gosh, that's the man perspective.
What's the woman's?
I think that for me, it's a natural timeline. It's not how many. It gives you know.
You do know.
Like if you've covered all of your bases. Now, if you don't cover any bases, then it's not fair. It's not fair to reach your final without communication, and that's a lot of our problems. We just don't know how to talk. We don't know how to talk. We don't know how to communicate. And that's a big issue. And that's when you get to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fired.
3 times. 4 time conversation and teaching. 5 times you fired.
Yeah. But in reality, it's a natural timeline. You know when you've covered your bases, right? You know when you've had the conversation. You know when you guys got in that moment of intimacy, if you led his hand to where you wanted, if you guided his face to where you wanted it. You know. And you know when you've had enough too.
That's true.
And you're satisfied. You're satisfied if you reach that final. You're satisfied because you know that I've talked to him. You know that I've tried to teach him. But most of us we too lazy. We too lazy to cover all the bases. Most of us we are too lazy. I'm with my husband for a lifetime.
Now I'm starting to get the real raw truth. You lazy ass junts. Go ahead. You with the husband for a lifetime, so you know you gotta teach.
So I know.
You know you gotta tell him.
And I know that he has to tell me.
Facts.
So,
we ain't going nowhere else.
Right.
So
I'm willing to take it to the home front, talk, have those conversations, no matter how uncomfortable it is, no matter if I feel like it's gonna hurt his feelings or if he feels like it's gonna hurt mine. You gotta find a way to do it. You gotta find a way to do it. Words left unsaid, problems left unaddressed, there is no solution. If you address the problems, then you can try to find a solution. But if you're not willing to talk, you're not willing to have those conversations, then it's pointless.
When I find a good woman, I'm going to wear a shirt around the house all the time. That's when she get mad, I'm going to put it on. You know what that shirt going to say?
What?
Joy doth cometh in the morning.
Right.
I can't be worried about how mad you is today.
Right.
Be mad. I'm going downstairs to sleep tonight. I ain't gonna go to bed mad because the Lord told me don't go to sleep angry. But I am gonna let you get your shit off upstairs, throw whatever pillow. Joy, when next time you see me and you see that shirt, that's how much I care about you being mad, because I'm ready to get to the talking part. How can we fix this?
Yep.
Let's fix this. Because we both got to live here.
Yep.
I don't need to be in roommates and angry. I could have went to the army and stayed in the barracks for that. You know what I'm saying? Now I got a partner and we building something. So if we're talking about building something and it comes with a strong foundation, why we going to keep tearing the rooms down if the foundation's so strong?
Period.
Come on, we built this room, leave it up. Now let's put some furniture in here. You know what I'm saying? And that's the inner work of putting yourself down sometimes, the compromise, the compromise. That's every day, ain't it?
Yep.
Is that every day in your marriage?
Yeah. Gotta compromise about something.
I know I compromise if I got a girl because I don't like morning breath. And women wake up wanting to talk.
Wanting to talk.
What the fuck is there to talk about before you brush your teeth? Nothing.
And I'm opposite. I don't want to talk in the morning.
That's dope.
So that's compromise. That's compromise on his, because he wants to talk.
He want to talk as soon as you get up.
Yep.
Baby, you know what I was thinking? You better not be thinking shit right now. I've always been that man. I'm like,
yeah, I'm the opposite.
About noon, baby. About noon. Hit me with all of that about noon.
I mean, we talk on the way to work. We can talk on the way to work, but I need to thaw out first.
What my brain need to catch up to, because I actually go through so much in my dreams. I'm getting visions. God's still dealing with me. I'm stressed. You know what I'm saying? It's so much on the playing field. My mind ain't never truly clear. I go to shoot pool to clear my mind. But it still ain't clear. I'm really just prioritizing while I'm shooting pool. And I'm not pressured to go handle any of it. Just decompress, like you said. So if I wake up and you already You done pissed me off before I even said, thank you, Lord, for waking me up this morning.
Yep.
And your breath stink. And the girl breath stink. Don't do that to me. I'm trying to marry and stay in this thing. You know what I'm saying? Now, the one thing I want to do is thank y'all for showing up to my prime time show with Miss Letisha Coffee. She stopped through here to show us love on the pull up. Miss Letisha, is there any kind word and encouraging word you'd like to leave with the people? That's what I always do with the people, is leave them something encouraging to take with them on their journeys as we part ways. Mm-hmm. From you, and to that you say what?
To all of my people that is venturing out, you got to talk about that. You got to address it. It's not enough if everything else checks out and that bottoms out. It's not enough if that is great and nothing else checks out. Like, you're gonna be dissatisfied in some area. So my word to you, my word of wisdom, is to not be afraid to have those conversations. It doesn't matter if you feel nervous or overwhelmed or you don't know how. Seek out the how. Address what you're not satisfied with. This is to the ladies and the men, because one can't function without the other. Like, communication is key. You have to have communication. But you gotta have those moments. It's a need to me. In my mind, it's a need. If you're in those relationships, you're gonna need your partner in that way. You can talk all day, address things all day. When you want to feel your partner, the feeling that comes from no other way but to be intimate, you gotta have that. You gotta have that. But in order to be satisfied in that area, you gotta be willing to talk about it too.
I can't hunch if I don't think nothing of you.
Right.
So if the connection ain't no good, we ain't been talking, I don't trust you.
Right.
We ain't hunching. And there goes the sex drive part.
Yep.
Right out the window. Miss Letisha, I didn't cut you off, did I?
No.
No more? I only got a couple of things for y'all, man. I always tell you, first of all, I love you. Ladies, let us hunch 3 times. 4th time, give us a teaching and a talking. And the 5th time, we fire.
Oh my gosh.
Y'all be blessed. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all chose to be right here with me. 5 is a fire. Salute.